Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, I will be reviewing the Coleman rechargeable LED lantern. And this lantern also has a generator or hand crank to also charge it up. Stay tuned. I bet you'll never guess where I came across this. Ah, you got me. That's right. Walmart, aka China Mart. But I thought it was pretty cool, and it had showed up a couple of months ago, and there's only like one or two in each store that I've seen, and I finally decided to pick it up because it did seem to have a lot of features. It does feel like it's made pretty good, but for features, this thing has a hand crank, so you could generate power if you don't have any AC power to recharge this. It has a built-in FM radio, has LED, so they call those lifetime bulbs. But again, you could recharge this by plugging into AC outlet, or in a case of an emergency where you don't have power, then you could go ahead and use the crank. They just use the crank for emergencies. It's not really the primary way of charging this thing up. So probably made in China. You know, it's sort of there we go, made in China right there. So for those of you who don't want to buy any more Chinese products, then you might as well just turn the video off and go on. Sorry folks. You know, if I could only review US products, that would really restrict me in my ability to review all these products. Coleman is an American company though. So here it is. Comes in blue. Again, available at Walmart. It's not really available much of any place else. Maybe on Amazon or eBay, but no other retailer, including the Coleman website, doesn't even have this there. And it's been out for at least a couple of months, so I don't quite understand. Maybe it's a Walmart exclusive or something. I don't know what the deal is. So let's go ahead and get this open, because there are a lot of other features that I haven't even talked about yet. Alright, so this comes with a power adapter to charge it up. And the power adapter is a 6-volt, 100 milliamp power supply. So what you do is, when you first get this, you plug it in here. You plug this in the wall and charge it for 6 hours, because that's what it says to do here. And it says to do that every 6 months to keep it charged up if you're not using it. And that's your primary way of keeping this charged up. Now, in case of an emergency, or you deplete all the power while using it, and then you need to charge it up, but let's say you don't have power, then you could go ahead and use this crank. The instructions said to crank it 2 times every second. And you just keep on cranking it. And you can go ahead and power it up, but you're going to be cranking a long time. You know, probably, you know, I don't know, a minute. Maybe you'll get, I don't know if you'll get an hour. I have no idea. It really doesn't say. I can't find much information out there. Let's take a look at the instructions. And you can see there's a lot of other things here, which we'll get to in a minute. And I don't read instructions unless I really have to. But the most important thing is when you first get it, to go ahead and plug it in and charge it for 6 hours is the first thing you should do. And I had already done that, so we should be good to go. By the way, this is not waterproof or anything, so don't stick it in the water or anything like that. You know, and it doesn't feel like extremely tough plastic, so it's not made super rugged or anything like that. But what do you expect? It costs, well, I don't know, I might expect more because of the cost. This cost $44 at Walmart, which actually is pretty expensive for this, so it better be freaking awesome. Now, besides being a light, and we'll go ahead and turn that on, and it's pretty bright. you know, it'll light a room, and we'll go ahead and check that out here once it gets dark and see how bright it is, and if we could light up a room where I could at least show you a video of how good that looks. And it only has one setting, and that's it. On, off, that's it. For $44 you'd think you get a little bit more, but you don't. You get these handles, so you can sort of hang it up there. Already showed you the crank. Now you get this other hole right there. I'm going to go ahead and show you that. And you put this plug in there. And then on the tip here, you can put any one of these adapters. I'm going to show you those. And you can charge other devices with this. So I could like charge my phone. So let's see. My phone is one of these micro USBs. So I'm curious if this thing will charge my phone. So let's take a look at this real quick. I want to go to a screen that doesn't really have anything on it. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I get the charging symbol and I plug that in there, which I do. And you can see the charging symbol right there on the battery. Can you see it yet? There you go. So it is charging. So it is doing what it says. So it's good to charge up your phone. Again, if you don't have power, it's going to serve you well there. $44. Well, what else do you get with this? For $44, you better get a little bit more than that. Got a radio here. It doesn't have a dial or anything. What you do is you turn this on, just like that. It's also the volume. And then it says to hit the scan, to scan to different frequencies. And if you run out, to hit the reset. There we go.
Entertainment and pop culture, including Steven Tyler, George Lucas, and Sean Penn.
Now the sound is coming out from behind this crank here.
Unpredictable, uncensored, and only on Sirius XM. Hear Opie and Anthony Love.
So it's not too bad.
6 a.m. Eastern with replays throughout the day. Plus, the Ron and Fez Show.
Doesn't sound too bad at all for one of these devices. I mean, it's not going to sound like a good radio. Well, here's my cons to this. Number one, it would have been nice if this folded down. You get a lot of empty space here. A lot of the Coleman ones, you can fold it. You can't fold this. Where it could have made it smaller. Would have been nice. It would have been nice if it had more than just one bright setting. But I don't know. I'm going to let you guys judge this. We'll wait till it gets dark and we'll see if I can light up this room and how bright it is and see how useful it is there. I'll be right back. So, y'all ready for darkness? Got my emergency light ready. Bring it on anytime. There we go. So, pretty dark. We'll go ahead and hit the button. And there it is. Now you can see when I turn it, there's a lot of lines. So it's kind of a dirty light, not a soft, even light, but it is pretty bright. I'm going to go ahead and put this behind the camera so you can sort of see how bright it is. Actually, what I'm going to do is set it up here in the corner of the room. And you can't really see me too good. So, you know, it's not super good. I'll go ahead and put it here. And this camera is good in low light. But that sort of gives you an idea about how bright it is. And let me do a comparison. Here's my favorite little Energizer light right there, which doesn't put off a lot of light either. And we can go ahead and see how well this one does. Got to figure out the bright setting here. So there you go. I'm going to turn this one off. Where's the button? There we go. And you can see it puts off about the same light, but this is a little bit cleaner. And let me see, how many LEDs does this have? This has like 4 LEDs inside. This one has like 5 LEDs inside. So I'd say about the brightness is about on par with the Energizer lantern that I had reviewed a while back. Let's go ahead and hit the light here. There we go. So they're, you know, not super bright. You sort of got to be probably within about 5 feet of these lanterns for them to, you know, in order for you to read or do anything other than just finding your way around. It will light up a whole room, so you can sort of find your way around the room, but to do any kind of work you need to be on top of them. But the advantage of having lights that are not so super bright is that their life, they stay lit a lot longer because they sip the juice out of the battery instead of just, you know, shining it all out right away. So, and then of course once the battery is depleted and power is not on, you can crank it. Now I've had other ones that are like this. I had bought a while back this Life Gear, which also has a radio in it that actually has a dial that you could tune, but what really sucked was it didn't come with an AC adapter to charge it, and so the only way, the primary and only way to charge this thing up was to crank it. Unfortunately, you crank it for a minute and you get about a minute of light out of it. And actually if you crank it for 5 minutes, you might get about 2 minutes of light out of it. So I don't know if the batteries were defective in this thing or what. So while I have this here, the Life Gear one, which are sold at Kmart, and actually I don't even think they sold at Kmart. Yeah, they sold in Kmart. I don't think they had them in Walmart for very long, if they did. And they stopped pretty quick. These things are junk. Junk. Don't get the Life Gear at all. So, however, the Coleman for $44, I think you could do better. I really do. However, it's not a bad buy. It does do what it's advertised. It has a lot of different functions. You have a radio. It obviously works. It lights up fairly bright enough to light up a room, or if you're close to it, you could read. It does not state how many lumens or lux or anything, so I have no idea. And the real benefit here is that you could charge your cell phone or other PDA or other kind of device. Let's see, did it come with an iPhone adapter? No, it did not. However, what you can do to take care of your iPhone is they have this one that looks like a USB plug right there. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see it. See, it looks like a USB plug. So what you could do is on that cable, just plug that in there, plug this into the radio or the lantern, and then you can go ahead and get your plug for your iPhone, plug it into this, and then plug it into your iPhone and charge your iPhone. And you have all these other plugs that you could use, all kinds. This actually sort of looks like either a Motorola or it might be an old Palm. I really don't know. So I'm not going to say don't buy it, but I think you could do better. Coleman has some other products with some rechargeable batteries that are made sturdier and a little bit better, but I don't think they have as many features. You know, if you could find, okay, I paid $44 for this. If you could find this on sale, I would say like for $29, I'd say absolutely this is a great deal, but anything above it is getting kind of shaky, so unless you have a real need for it, hold on, wait for a sale, and then I'll recommend it. So with that, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and you. I hope this has helped you out in your decision-making abilities for cranking lanterns with radios. So hope you have a great evening and or a great weekend. See ya.